We're learning new information on 3 Western Mass YWCA employees who've been charged with theft of state funds that were intended to be used for domestic violence victims. The nonprofit organization dedicated to eliminating racism and empowering women. Western Mass News reporter Kristen Burnell joining us live in studio tonight with those details. Kristen.
Chris, court documents reveal that these 3 suspects allegedly stole more than $28,000 over the past year.
3 employees from the Western Mass YWCA have been charged with larceny in connection to allegedly stealing public funds from domestic violence victims.
After a few weeks in April into May of investigating, it was alleged that more than $28,000 in money that was meant for grant money for people in need of housing assistance and other things to pay for those emergency expenses was used instead for personal gain for 3 suspects who were employees of the YWCA.
According to court documents obtained by Western Mass News, Chief Operating Officer Aisha Pizarro, Homelessness Director Sharifa Forbes, and Patricia Medina, all from Springfield, were charged in Springfield District Court last month. Springfield Police Public Information Officer Ryan Walsh tells us they began their investigation after the Department of Public Health noticed irregular activity of that funding.
Our detectives investigated for several weeks and applied for and were granted a warrant for the arrest of 3 suspects. 1 suspect was arrested after getting in a motor vehicle accident, and she had an open warrant, and the other 2 suspects turned themselves into court. So the 3 individuals right now are being charged.
Court documents reveal that Forbes is accused of embezzling almost $8,000 and Medina less than $900. Meanwhile, Pizarro is accused of stealing approximately $20,000 to pay for her own bills and 1 family member's. Investigators say that on April 6th of this year, she was seen on video entering the YWCA building around 11 p.m. and left 4 hours later with a large box. The next morning, court documents reveal that Pizarro took an unexpected leave of absence with no advance notice to the agency.
As this continues, the investigation is open, but the information has been forwarded to the Attorney General's office to see if they would like to investigate further to see if this runs deeper in any other portion of the state.
Now, we did reach out to the YWCA for comment today, but have not yet heard back. But the 3 suspects have pled not guilty. Now, coming up at 6, we're digging deeper into this investigation and the criminal history of these 3 suspects. Reporting live in studio, Kristen Burnell, Western Mass News.